First, we want to cover not the news, and it's kind of an exciting topic this time around, Spurjo. Our colleague Dustin Whelan over at Common Tread dug up this motorcycle being made by Great Wall Motors in China, and it is really something. Why don't you give the people a little rundown of specs and what this bike is?
First of all, we were just joking about the fact that it sounds like a made-up name, but Great Wall Motors is worth $28 billion, apparently. Mm-hmm. They own 5 different car manufacturers, and they're growing. And what they did this year at the Beijing International Motorcycle Exhibition is they introduced a new S2000 GL. If that sounds familiar, it should, because it's very similar to what the nomenclature is for Honda's Goldwing. And this looks like a Honda Goldwing, but with not a flat 6 engine, rather a flat 8-cylinder engine. So two more better.
And to be clear, I think it's S2000.
S2000, sorry.
The S2000, S1000. I mean,
yeah.
that was
not
years
enough,
ago, presumably. I don't know.
Yeah, S2000 GL.
Right. It is an 8-cylinder touring bike with a 12-point-something-inch TFT screen and over-the-air updates and a 70-inch wheelbase, and it is
8-speed dual-clutch transmission.
All of the things. It is the lap of luxury.
So, by comparison, the Honda Goldwing is an 1,833cc flat 6-cylinder with a 7-speed DCT transmission option.
And, yeah, correct. And a 66-inch wheelbase. So this thing is just bigger and bolder than a Goldwing. And for our 3-minute timer, we're going to start it right now. And I want to hear what you think about this bike, Spurgeon. What do you think about what it means for motorcycling? What do you think it indicates in global motorcycling?
Does America need a bigger
China?
Does America need a bigger Goldwing? As of right now, this isn't being sold in America. The only market in North America that Great Wall is importing into is Mexico. I think it's hard because really where I want to focus our time here is there was one particular comment in the comment section. Sometimes what I found about Common Tread articles is that the comment section can be as interesting as the article. There was an individual, a regular contributor to the comment section. The username is Our Man in Bangkok, was at the Beijing Motorcycle Show where this was released.
Right.
And what they said was, compared to the Beijing Motorcycle Show 5 years ago, where it felt like motorcycles were kind of an afterthought and there was nothing new and exciting, really what they saw this year was all of the major players were there with new models for the Chinese market. The Chinese market was alive and excited with their top influencers, motorcycle taking off for the younger generation, and how this represented this new peak in performance for the Chinese manufacturing portion of the show. And I think I think that's interesting. Huge market.
Right. And I it's hard to sit here and wish for a bigger Goldwing. But it's so interesting that this thing would come to be in any market really, but especially in the Chinese market where there's obviously transportation manufacturing is a huge thing, and there's a lot of money to be made. So what I would like to say in my time here is that I'm so curious what this bike would be like to ride, because it feels like it's just like too big and too ridiculous to ever be good. It's got these big radiators that sit right in front of the rider's legs that look like they would maybe just barf hot air all over the rider. A 70-inch wheelbase is the wheelbase is almost 5 inches longer than a Goldwing, which sounds kind of insane. Like eventually bikes get so big that they're difficult to ride. It's probably heavy.
For those of you listening that don't understand what that means, it's probably going to make it difficult to turn and to handle because of how long it is.
Because of how long it is and how big and how heavy. And the technology involved that's built into it is impressive, but also that doesn't always work very well at the beginning of model lines. So basically what I'm trying to say is the Goldwing would maybe otherwise be a completely ridiculous motorcycle to try to wrap our minds around if it hadn't evolved over 40 or 50 years, right? We're all used to the Goldwing now. We know what a Goldwing is. We see them going down the road. Anyone who's ridden one can tell you that it's good. This thing kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm just curious, like, can you just build a bike like that and have it work right out of the gate? Can you just sort of skip the decades of evolution and engineering and make it work? Or is it going to be really difficult to ride? And if it's difficult to ride, it's going to be extremely difficult to ride because it's so big and so opulent.
So the timer has gone off, and as Zach has kind of insinuated here, we have more questions than we have answers. If you look at the Honda Goldwing, Honda's made the Goldwing smaller in the last iteration, tighter, more compact, lighter. Even Honda feels like maybe they've gone too far. And if you read through some of the comments, people say like, bigger Goldwing, not what anyone's looking for. So I think there are a lot of questions around this motorcycle. It's definitely worth taking a look if you haven't seen it on Common Tread. The title of the article is 8-Cylinder Tourer from China Takes Aim at the Honda Goldwing. There are some great comments in the comment section about the Chinese motorcycle market in general and Chinese manufacturing as it plays into motorcycling. So take a look at the article, take a look at the comment section, and let us know what you think. If you have any strong opinions, shoot us an email over to Highside, Lowside at RevZilla.com, and maybe you'll get your comment read on a future episode like we're about to do right now.